you know what happens when you put a seagull in a microwave and turn it on? I'm guessing the answer to this question is no. But unfortunately, I do know what happens when you put a seagull in a microwave and turn it on. And it's pretty horrific. Now, you may be wondering, what on earth is this woman going on about? Where was she when this was happening? Is she into some really weird food? Since 2001, you would find me on big construction sites driving diggers. I was always the only female worker, but that didn't bother me as I was doing a job I'd longed to do since being a little girl sat on my dad's knee on his digger. But it did bother some of my colleagues. And exploding a seagull in a microwave just before I put my lunch in was one of the ways they would show me. On a daily basis, I'd be told I didn't belong on construction sites. I shouldn't be taking a man's job. I must be a bit of a tart if I just like working with men. Threatening to get the wives to come and beat me up. Oh, and the absolutely delightful gesture of sniffing my seat when I got off the digger. Raise your hand if you've ever had a time where constantly being told you shouldn't be doing something is the fuel that drives you to prove that you can. I felt like an ember of defiance was lit inside me, filled with fiery determination to keep digging no matter what anyone thought or said. And I gained a really good reputation for digging with finesse and confidence along the way. And that confidence took me all the way to the other side of the world, digging in Western Australia on 60-ton machines, working alongside my partner Gary, digging deep excavations for pipeworks. Little did I know, a year later, on our return to the UK, I was going to have to dig deep in a much different way. It's 2012 and I'm sat in the local Specsavers, newly returned from Australia, waiting for Gary to come out from a routine eye exam. Gary's got a shaved head, a stubbly beard, huge broad shoulders, and a gorgeous beaming smile. Gary comes out from the optician's room, but his smile's gone, and so's the colour from his face. Pamela, they've just told me I'm going blind. You need to get me to Manchester Eye Hospital now. I feel the colour drain from my face as I'm trying to comprehend what he's telling me. My Gary, he's only 27. We've just got engaged. We're planning our future. This can't be happening to him. We drive to the hospital in complete silence, both in shock. Gary's diagnosed with advanced stages of diabetic retinopathy in both eyes. That week had more bad news in store. Gary loses full vision in his right eye and is brought home from work. I lose my job on a building site. No sick pay for Gary as his employer's gone under. No support or benefits for either of us as we've been out of the country for more than 6 months. Our landlord ends our tenancy, so we need to find somewhere else to live. Gary's told he needs 4 major operations on both eyes to try and save his sight. Now they say bad luck comes in threes, but at this point, I've completely lost count. We did end that week with some good news. We found out we were having a baby. Amazing news at the worst possible time. We were expecting a little girl, something Gary had dreamed of, and it gave him something positive to think about. But I found it impossible to feel excited. How on earth were we going to get by? I felt like I'd failed as a mummy before my baby even arrived. Our beautiful baby girl, Sophia, or Fifi as we call her, came along. Healthy, with a full head of jet black hair. But instead of feeling like a proud new parent, I felt overwhelmed with guilt that I wasn't a good enough mum, and I felt like a complete failure. Bringing up our baby on food bank vouchers and benefits wasn't the life I'd envisioned. How had I gone from confidently building a career to feeling like this? Give me a nod if you've ever felt like you're in a hole that just keeps getting deeper and deeper. 2 years on, and I'm stood in the queue at Asda. I've got Fifi sat in the shopping trolley, and she's smiling, she's happy, and she's shouting hiya at anyone who walks past. But I'm not happy. I'm filled with dread and anxiety as I'm loading my shopping on the till, making sure I put essentials first, nappies, toothpaste, milk, etc. The lady on the till, Carol, her name badge says, turns to me. Hi love, do you want any bags? No thanks, I brought my own. I feel myself turning bright red as I lean towards Carol and I whisper, do you mind stopping when it gets to £32, please? As I know that's all I've got. Carol looks a bit taken aback but says, yeah, sure, no problem. I'm collecting my shopping, and as we're leaving the store, I feel myself on the verge of bursting into tears as the all too familiar thoughts of feeling like a bad mum show up. I'm so sick of feeling like this. I need to be strong and positive for Gary as he's now trying to cope, learning with being partially sighted. I want to be a good role model for Fifi, but how when I feel like such a loser? I could really do with the confident old me showing up and digging me out of this deep hole of depression that I'm in. I was brought up to believe that things happen for a reason, even bad things. And my reason was about to show up. I'm at home and I'm unpacking the shopping. And my phone rings. Dave Riley, builder. I've not spoke to him in a long time. Hi Dave, you all right? Yeah, not bad. Yeah, she's nearly 2 now, yeah. What, you've got a bit of a tricky job needs digging? I've not done it for ages, Dave. I don't even know if I still can. Right, you need someone with my finesse. Enough with the flattery. Right, okay. I guess I'll see you Monday. Gary thinks it would be good for me to do the job and arranges for his mum to come and help him with Fifi. I find myself sat back on a digger, and for the first time in what feels like forever, I don't feel like such a failure. Dave shouts, see, you still got that finesse. See, Dave was always one of the good ones on site who would tell me to keep at it and ignore the idiots. It feels good, doesn't it, when you've got someone cheering you on? Give me a thumbs up if you agree. Another builder calls me and asks me to do a job, 2 weeks digging while he's on holiday. I agree to do the job. But not only am I digging for 2 weeks, I end up project managing the job, something I've never ever done before. And start to feel a bit confident. The builder comes back off his holiday with a tan and a brand new Land Rover Discovery, and not so much as a kiss my arse for all the hard work I've done, and tells me I can get back in the kitchen now with a stupid grin on his face. You know, where us women belong, in the kitchen. Obviously not tasted my cooking. I felt that ember of defiance light inside me again, and I rushed home to Gary and Fifi, excited. Gary, what if we had our own business? We could be supporting ourselves. We could be going on holidays. We could have a Land Rover Discovery. not working for pillets like that. Gary thinks it's a great idea, but before I start choosing car colours, suggests that we actually get some advice on how to start a business since we've got no money. Spoil sport. We scrape together every penny we've got and we hire a mini digger for a week. We buy 5 gallons of diesel using a fuel can I've had to borrow off a local farmer. The benefits office agreed to give us 6 weeks before they stop all support. It's a huge risk for us as we've got no guarantees it's going to work, but we are desperate to support ourselves and make positive changes for the future. Our first job comes in through the business. 2 weeks on a local golf course. Before I finish there, another job comes in, and then another. The diary's starting to fill up. And I start to get known as the digger lady. So that's what we call the business. Constantly getting recommended for providing excavation with female finesse. Dave asked me to do another job for him. While I'm digging away, Dave says, "Pam, you need to stop hiring diggers. You need your own to make more profit. Can I make a suggestion?" Dave offers to buy me a digger, where we pay him back monthly over the next 3 years, and then it will be ours. I couldn't believe it. What an opportunity. Things were really starting to change for us. And the way I felt about being a mum was changing too. I actually started to believe I was a good parent and role model for Fifi. The business flourished, and we bought our second machine outright and went on the odd holiday as well. I started to get recognised as a female entrepreneur, winning awards off people such as Theo Petitis from Dragon's Den, getting chosen out of 3,500 female founders for an award off Meta. My vision for the business is to franchise Digger Lady across the country, empowering and encouraging other women to own their own business in this industry. I'm Pamela Evans, aka the Digger Lady, and I share my story today to empower belief in yourself. And if you're able, can I ask you to all stand? So to celebrate our feathered friend from the beginning, if you can all make a seagull for me with your hands. Let's turn that seagull into the heart to inspire inclusion and celebrate International Women's Day together. If you'd like to hear more about my story or treat yourself to a digger driving session voucher, please come and see me at my table on the break. And just out of respect to that seagull at the start of my journey, if anyone's a good catch, here's a little gift from me.